Oh wow. Every time I do this at home, I surprise myself how the... Hi, and a huge welcome to Steve's Kitchen. Today we're going to be doing a fried rice recipe. Loads of people asked me whether I'd make fried rice, and I was racking my brains to think what's my favourite fried rice from around the world. Of course, in Indonesia you have the nasi goreng, which is delicious. I was going to say in Italy you have a risotto. It's not really a fried rice, but it's an enriched rice. And then, sorry, I've just thought of another one that possibly is one of my favourites. Just a second. Now, I haven't got the ingredients for it. Stay on track, Stephen. So one of my favourite rices of all times is a Thai fried rice. And Michelle's favourite is a khao pat moo. Khao pat means fried rice, moo means pork. We're going to be doing khao pat gai, which is a fried rice with chicken. This dish is so simple to make, and it's outstandingly delicious and nutritious. You're really going to enjoy this. It actually only takes about 3 minutes to cook this dish, but we do have to prep some rice. So we'll add the 10 minutes of rice prepping on top of this. Now I'm going to be using a Basmati rice, which is a long grain rice. Interesting little fact, did you know that 65% of Basmati consumed around the world is produced in India? And 35% is produced in Pakistan. This pack's from Pakistan. Now I am going to show you again, and I'll probably repeat this through the series, how to cook your rice from start to finish perfectly in 10 minutes. Let's get going. So we're going to take half a cup of rice, a little bit of overspill, into a saucepan, and make sure the saucepan has a firm base to it, a thick base, not a thin base. It just works better cooking rice if your saucepan's got a thick bottom. Now what you're going to do is just rinse the rice off, so add a little cold water in there and just get your hand in and massage the rice grains to encourage the starch out. And then we're just going to pour off that cloudy water. This basmati is not very starchy actually, so I'm just going to do 2 rinses. Pour off all or 90% of the water into the pan. We're just going to add exactly the same amount of water as we do rice. So if it's half a cup of rice, it's half a cup of water. So turn on our gas stove. If you're using an electric stove, same thing, up on its highest heat. Pop the pan on, add a little sprinkle of salt in there. And we're just going to heat this water until it starts to simmer, and you'll just see the rice start to dance on the edge of the pot. As soon as you see the rice start to dance, I'm just going to turn the heat off, only briefly. Then I want you to cover the pan, and you do need a fairly tight fitting lid over there. Pull the towel, cloth, whatever you decided to use, pull it away from the flame. And now we're just going to turn the gas back on, but this time I want you to turn it down to its very lowest setting. So you could almost use a candle to cook this rice now. We're going to pop that back on there, and then no longer than 10 minutes and your rice will be perfectly cooked. If you're cooking your rice on an electric source, then quite often it's a good idea to heat it up on one ring and then turn that ring off, put it onto a second ring on its lowest possible setting, because the hot rings, they often stay hot a little bit too long and they can overcook the rice. When you see Thai fried rice being made, it's almost always made with cool or room temperature rice. So I'm going to take that off the heat and I'm going to let it cool down to room temperature before I use it. That's my 10-minute alarm gone off. I don't leave it on there a second longer. Take a look at this. Lovely light and fluffy rice. Nothing has stuck to the bottom. I've let the rice cool down. We're now ready to cook our khao pat gai, and this is only going to be a couple of minutes, so get ready with your spoon and fork. Let's have a quick look at the ingredients. We're going to be using a little salt, tomato, red onion, some lettuce. You can use cabbage, egg, garlic, a small amount of sugar, some oyster sauce and some soy sauce, and of course some oil for frying. So I don't need a lot of tomato, so I'm going to take maybe about 1/3 of the tomato off there, and we're just going to slice it. You can either just leave it in fairly large slices like this, or you could just, I wouldn't dice it particularly for this dish, but I might just sort of cut those in half and pop them in with the rice. The other ingredient that we can prep is our lettuce. So I'm just going to take some slices of lettuce, pop those in with the rice as well, and some red onions. So just going to half that onion. And realistically, all I want is a few slices off of that onion. So maybe they might be a little big. So I can always half those again. So again, that just goes in with our rice. We'll be adding those ingredients all at the same time. I'm just going to take a couple of cloves of garlic. And then I might add a little pinch of salt to my garlic. The coarseness of the salt will just allow us to grind the garlic up to a paste. And now we've got our garlic and our salt seasoning all in one product. So let's go. We're going to add about a tablespoon of oil into a hot wok. And my lady in Thailand added butter in there, so just see if I can get it off the spoon. Just turn that heat down a little bit. You do want a hot wok. Now in goes my chicken. Again, I'm using a little chicken breast here. Now this is going to cook very quickly, so I'm just going to push this aside. We're going to break an egg just into this side and just break the egg up. I want the egg to slightly cook before we start mixing in the rest of the ingredients. So we'll get like a little scrambled egg. Okay, now we can mix the chicken. Now we're pretty much ready to put our rice, vegetables, our onion and tomato in there. And pop that into the wok. Give that a good stir through. Now this dish, as it was made for me in Thailand, had no chili in it. If you want to add chili, now's the time to do it, or maybe just before the rice goes in there. I want to recreate exactly what I had, so I'm just going to turn the heat down a moment. So I'm doing it this way. So in goes our garlic and salt seasoning, a little soy sauce, probably about a tablespoon of soy sauce. It's another form of seasoning. And also I'm going to put about a tablespoon of oyster sauce in there, and probably maybe half a teaspoon of sugar. Okay, keep that heat up nice and high. Oh man, that smells like Thailand. But it really is that simple. So I'm going to take that off the heat now. Simple, I mean, it's so simple. The smell is delicious. Now also, when I have this in Thailand, and when Michelle and I have it, we do like it khao pat gai kai dao with a fried egg. So come back over to the pan briefly. Add a little splash, just a splash of oil. Get myself another egg. And this is just going to be a sunny side up fried egg. Generally the Thais cook this in a lot more oil, so a little deeper than that. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a tiny splash of water, cover that over. And I'm going to use the steam just to cook the top of the egg. I don't need the egg cooked through too much. You've probably got the side of the pan. Look at that. Perfect. Khao pat mu kai dao. Oh, the smell coming off of that. That is so delicious. I like to put a bit of lime on the dish as well. Right. Got the little camera again. Oh, the smell coming off of that. I'm back in Thailand again. This food is just great. Now this is a fork and spoon. They won't give you chopsticks in Thailand to eat this food, so it's a fork and spoon dish. I don't think they gave us lime, but there's usually lime around, and I do like a little squeeze of lime. So I'm just going to pop that over the egg. So I got one shot at making this today. That's how simple it is. I've not done 2 or 3 takes, and I think this looks and smells delicious. Let's just take a look at this egg. Just cut the egg open. Beautiful runny egg. Where do you start? I mean, let's just push the egg to one side and get some of this delicious Thai fried rice. It's piping hot. Am I going to burn myself? It doesn't need any seasoning. It shouldn't need any seasoning. We've added all the seasoning in the cooking process. So this should be delicious straight off the bat. Oh, wow. Every time I do this at home, I surprise myself how the memories of being in Thailand come back to me. The flavors are perfect. I've made this exactly the same way the lovely lady on the streets of Thailand made it for us. I think she used to put in a slice of cucumber. I haven't got any, so a nice big slice of fresh cucumber adds to this dish. But, oh wow, spot on. Well done me for making a really authentic tasting Thai dish. So there is another super simple, really easy to cook dish for one that you can cook fresh in minutes. Obviously the rice is going to take a little over 10 minutes to cook, but the actual cooking process, I'd say maybe 3 minutes. If you were to take one of those ready meals that you heat up in the microwave, it would take you as long to heat it up. And to be honest, there isn't any comparison at all. I'm absolutely certain that Michelle will be salivating looking at this, one of her favourite dishes. I've got a whole host of other meals for one ideas. It's just getting hold of the ingredients and motivating myself to do them for you. So I hope you're enjoying this little series. I certainly am, because these dishes are taking me back to some most beautiful moments in our travelling. Observations, well, would I put some chilli in this? I think I probably would. A little bit of heat might be quite nice, but I did get told off when I suggested it to the chef in Thailand. This dish, she said, doesn't have chilies in it normally, but it's up to you if you want a bit of heat. I also would probably cut down on that sugar. I find that for me, I don't want that sweetness in the dish, so you could either put a tiny little bit of sugar or cut it out altogether. But overall, no, I'd change nothing. If you've enjoyed this, share the love, share it with your friends and family. And from me here on my own in Australia at the moment, what should we do next time? Comment down below. Let me know what you'd like to see. Be good. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. I want you to see just how simple and fresh and delicious this curry is. And the smell, the basil, the kaffir, the coconut cream. This is just perfect. I tend to find